welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you saw the intro, hopefully you got that pop culture reference. If you never, hopefully this video will clarify it for you. So as the video states, this is Cronos, the origins. So I made a video about a month ago, or was it a post that I put a month ago? Anyway, whenever. So I made a video on the new Cronos watch. It was that really poor Omega homage, and I mentioned the logo, how much I dislike the logo, and I said I'll do a video on it. And had I done the video when this Cronos branding first started, this would have been a very different video. It would have been me ranting and raving about how I felt. But now it's been a few weeks since that's come out. I've calmed down quite a lot, and I'm trying to make something positive and constructive out of this. So my problem is I think this logo is absolutely naff, piss poor. Let's start off where the problem started. So you all know Sanmartin. Now, if you don't know, Lugyu is the factory responsible for Sanmartin. Now, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I'd say maybe 3, 4, 5, whenever it started, Lugyu watches started appearing on the sanmartin website, and I think Lugyu made their own page on AliExpress. Now, nobody knows who Lugyu are, and the watches they initially were making had Lugyu on the dial. Now, I think this was about the time the channel I Like Watches got involved with Sanmartin slightly, and I think they must have asked his opinion on something, because as far as I'm aware, he is using the factory to make his Excitotron watch. So that being said, out of the blue, you've got this Cronos branding, and obviously ILW released a video saying this is this fantastic, amazing new font, new branding, whatever. And I saw a glimpse of that, and I thought, oh my god, what the hell is that? And the reason I had such a strong reaction to it is because, reviewers like myself and whoever else, we're in a unique position where most of us do cover a lot of the Chinese watches because that is the in thing right now. And that puts us in that unique position where we can actually input on their designs. So you've got companies like Heimdallr, where they've got a Facebook page and they regularly gauge people's opinions on features of watches, designs of watches, and they generally do really well in terms of the designs. I mean, they've got one of the best logos going. Even the name, everyone can say it. It's not too much of a problem. And Lugyu's problem was it was a Chinese name, and they found people not responding too well with it. So they did engage guys from the UK, and I don't know how he went about it. I think he involved somebody in it, or whether it was the subscribers that all had the input, whatever, and they end up coming up with this logo. Now, I don't know what possessed them to recommend this to Lugyu. Further to that, I don't know what possessed Lugyu to go for it. And as soon as I find out, I had this knee-jerk reaction. I had to blow some steam first of all, and then I got onto AliExpress and I started speaking with this Maxi person that you hear about from ILW's videos. Now, I was blunt, straight to the point. I introduced myself. What were you thinking when you went with this logo? To summarize, they're not much of a fan of this logo, but they were panicking. So nobody was buying Lugyu, and they said, look, we need something instant. So we come up with this name through ILW's help, and the style of the logo. But seriously, do you think this logo is good? Like, is it just me? At that point, I thought, am I just being crazy over here? And this logo is absolutely fine. Now, I know China aren't the best for names, right? But the style of the logo is absolutely, oh my god, it's laughable. Absolutely laughable. You've got this watch here. Yeah, I'm not reviewing this yet. I'm going to review this after. And they've got other models. Now, it's a 62 mass reissue. Fantastic watch. Amazing dive watch. And I'll cover this in the review. The features on it are exceptional. You've got top quality materials used. But then you look at this. This is the reason why there's many people like me that will not buy this watch. So, once I'd blown off this steam, and me speaking to Maxi, she gave me the feeling, and she did say, she goes, look, we're struggling selling these watches because obviously YouTube gives you a chance to become an influencer. So if you've got 10k subscribers and you say something's good, you're gonna have people blindly buying it and blindly following you. That's fine. I'd rather people don't do that with me. And I have said it many times. I've got subscribers that are well informed enough that if I'm saying something wrong or something silly, that they're not going to just take my word and go with the flow. And I've said it a numerous amount of times. I don't know everything there is to know about watches. My expertise was in Seiko, and I like homages that, you know, follow the Seiko design. So there's a lot of different angles to this. And this will be a bit of a ramble, a bit of a rant, and it's not going to be everybody's video. So, but I just need to put it out there. Anyway, that being said, spoke to Maxi. I said, listen, I really don't like it. I really need to change it, you know. And I gave her some advice on, you know, brand names. We've seen Proxima. We've seen a couple of the brand names from China where they start messing about with names. So for me, Sanmartin, I don't know why Luggy had to make their own another brand, but okay, if they did, fine. But you've got to understand, from China, it's hard enough for you to establish a name anyway. Once you've established a certain brand, Sanmartin isn't too bad of a name, to be honest, compared to some of the others out there. But once you established it, you established who you are, people think, yeah, these are great. And I'm talking just about the Western market here, is you've got to stick to it. You can't just go tomorrow and change your name again. And then everyone will be like, what's that? What are you? And this is what I explained to her. And she did agree for the most part. And she said, but look, you know, what would you recommend? Because they are struggling on a lot of their watches, especially with this name. So I recommended a logo. We'll go into that later. Anyway, let's rewind a bit. That was my conversation with Maxi. So then what I did, I went onto YouTube. I did a quick post. I don't know if you remember, it was about 4 weeks ago, just to gauge everybody else's opinion. And this was after my conversation, to say, look, if I need to go back to it, let me go back with something substantial and say, look, yeah, it's not just me. And so I did that community little post. And let's go check that out, see how that did. So this is my YouTube page. Now, let's see the post I did. So I've done a post, how long has it been now? 4 weeks ago. Well, already been 4 weeks. Just to gauge everybody's opinion on what they thought of the Cronos logo. Now you can see the results are here. I had pretty decent, just for some basic statistical analysis. 42% like it and 37% hate it. And 21% are not fussed. So it wasn't the result I was expecting. However, if we just go into the comment section, let's see some of the comments here. Now, what's interesting is everyone who did comment were the ones that didn't like it. So those guys felt strong enough to actually make a comment and say, you know what I think. And so it's not just me, I'm not deluded sitting here. And everyone has said the same thing, that the name, yeah, you can live with it. However, the font style is absolutely naff, horrible, and exactly what I was thinking when I saw it. A couple of comments have mentioned that it's like it's been drawn by a kid, and this is, I think, the biggest mistake anybody makes who has zero design experience, and you're asked to design something and you just go overboard. So yeah, I think the logo mistake, it does need tearing into. It does need absolute annihilation. I mean, the font does make it look like a cheap watch, and it's a font that you'd see on a gimmick watch, just a cheap watch. Honestly, it's not what Sanmartin or Lugyu usually stand for. Let's go back to the vid and let's talk about this some more. So as mentioned, the results were surprising. Initially, in the first few days, it was going towards dislike of the logo design, but as I mentioned it on the little YouTube clip, is out of the 37% whatever it is that didn't like the logo, it was only those that commented to speak about how much they disliked it. The ones that liked it, there was not a comment in there that actually said, yeah, I like the logo, it's not a problem. So regardless, right, it's happened before. There are numerous cases where the majority isn't always right. And what that also says is, looking at it numbers wise, 37% is still a high number You know, it's only 37 versus 43. That 22% doesn't really count the guys that went first. So that's still a high number that don't like the watch. And as a customer base, you shouldn't have that number there. If you really want to gauge people's opinions and how, you know, your market is reacting, that amount of people that don't like your product is not a good thing. You know, you should at least have 80 to 90% satisfaction from you know, consumers. Let's look at all the brands out there. Let's look at Seiko. Let's look at all the, you know, Breitling, Rolex, all the high-end, mid-range, lower entry-level watches. And what do you notice in common? I've got a Seiko here. Look at the font. Not special at all. Look at the name. Nothing special, right? But it works. That's my whole point, that if somebody's been asked to design something or give us an idea, like, you review a lot of watches. So if I'm reviewing all these watches and somebody asks me that question, I want to come up with something totally crazy that doesn't even, I've never seen that on a watch to be that different. I would have gone with, personally, I can live with the Cronos name. You know, I didn't like it initially, but the logo, I can't stand it. And I would just use a standard font, and I would use applied logos, and that will change the whole watch for me, and I'll consider buying it. I mean, I'm very particular. I'll give you a prime example. I don't know if you know, Heimdallr released a watch with the name of Shiryu, right? Which I think means dragon. So they released that, and that was a Sumo, one of the best watches Heimdallr released. I really did like them. They've got all the Zimby special edition colors, limited edition colors, but I didn't buy one. I refused to, because I can't look at a watch that says Shiryu on the dial. And that is an unconscious bias, and I don't think it's racist or anything, but I think it's down to China's negative effect. You know, so many people have a negative idea towards China, and what you gotta understand, China can produce anything. They're capable of poor to the absolute best. It just depends on what you pay them to do. If you pay them enough, they'll give you the best thing out there. Case in point is watches. They've got the replicas. They've got some of the best super clone level replicas of Rolex, Omega, whatever. So it is possible. We're not saying China's, you know, poor like that, but it's what people's perception is. I've had crazy comments on my videos. Some people saying boycott China, this China, whatever. I'm thinking, you can't boycott China. They produce everything for the whole world, right? Okay, so going back to logos, yeah, they need a basic standard logo. So I went back to Madame Maxi, and I said, look, I've got an idea. Here's what I think. And it just so happened she had been working on something as well, and we literally shared the exact same thing. So I'll put a picture here on the left of what we ended up sharing. Now, it's only a rendering, but I think it looks a lot better. Now, it depends what they do with that, though. Whether or not they make it I did insist that it needs to be a 3D applied logo, and that will set it off. It'll make me happy. It'll make quite a lot of people happy, and for the ones that aren't fussed, they'll be on board as well. Yeah, absolutely. So how does that tie in with the intro video? That pop culture reference there, everyone knows that first version of Deadpool was utter nonsense. People hated it and they ruined it, but version 2 Deadpool came along and saved the day, and I think that's possible. You know, you've got Cronos version 1, just nasty, massive mistake, massive oversight from whoever made this logo. And a couple of the comments exactly read my mind. I said the same thing. It looks like somebody created this on Microsoft Paint, or what was it, Publisher, or when you use PowerPoint and use those crazy weird arts. And it is very childish. You know, let's just look at it a bit closer. And this is a really good watch, honestly. It is one of the best divers out there, but that on there, sorry, I can't do it. Even with this hourglass on the top, they don't match at all. The hourglass is very simplistic, but then you got this very highly stylized, overly stylized font style, and the fact that it's printed, you know, they do need to get away from that and just put some 3D applied logos, and just go with the standard font, you know, standard block letters, and then you can please everybody, or the majority of the people out there. And I don't think the fans that do like this, the 40% will mind that as well. So I want to share some images of some dials yet to come out from Logview. They were shared with me. I don't know how they might feel about me sharing them, but who cares. So there'll be some pictures here on the left, and I'll roll through them, and regardless of what the dial looks like, you know, they've got the few GMT versions coming out. They've got a turtle style dial as well, but just that logo in the center, it just ruins everything. And yeah, I don't think I will be purchasing any Cronos until they do change that font. Now, I spoke to Maxi recently. She did say that they are going to make a few dials with that logo and test it out, because the problem they're facing is they've invested now in this style, so they've jumped the gun by quite a large margin. They've produced 300 pieces of so many dials. Now they've got to use that stock up, but then they run the risk of, you've got so many dials, you've established this logo, no matter how poor it is, are you going to reset it again? I'm trying to really push the fact that they do. So she has promised me some dials that she's going to make with that different kind of logo. And what Cronos have just opened a Facebook page. So what I suggest is, anybody watching, go on that Cronos Facebook page. I'll leave the description in the video, and please let your voices be heard about changing the logo to something better, because the watches are fantastic. They've got great potential, but the font is absolutely DEAD, dead. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. You know, it's a different video. It's not a review. It's just a bit of me coming out on YouTube. And you know, having said all this, no offense to anyone at all. It is what it is. I think it is a poor choice of logo, and it has to be said. Doesn't matter who done it, where they come from, no matter how many subscribers they got, no matter if egos are hurting this, who gives a damn? We're just talking about this watches here. And yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. Whatever you need to do. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.